Long before the grand temple of Puri rose to touch the sky, before the land became a heaven for pilgrims, there was a forest. A dense, sprawling wilderness filled with towering trees, hidden streams, and whispers of ancient spirits. The people who lived in this forest, a tribe known as the Sambaras, was simple but deeply connected to their land and its rhythms. They believed that the heart of their forest was protected by a powerful goddess, Vimala Devi, the embodiment of purity and divine strength. Each day, the Sambaras would visit a small, humble shrine deep within the forest and offer flowers and fruits to their goddess. They believed that as long as they worshipped her with pure heart, she would protect their lands, keeping it alive and fertile. But one year, disaster struck. The rains failed. The rivers that once flowed freely through the forest began to dry up. The trees that stood tall and green turned brittle and bare. The animals fled to the mountains. And soon, even the Sambaras found themselves in the brink of despair. The ground cracked beneath their feet, and the once vibrant forest became a barren wasteland. The elders of the tribe gathered to pray to Vimala Devi, their voices trembling with fear. Day and night, they offered what little they had left, begging the goddess for her mercy. But the drought stretched on, and hope began to fade. In the midst of this hardship, a young girl named Dhara emerged as a beacon of faith. Dhara was a daughter of a humble family, but she had always been deeply devoted to Vimala Devi. Even as the drought worsened, she would visit the goddess' shrine every day, placing a single flower at the feet of the deity, whispering her prayers with unwavering belief. One night, after another long day of gathering dried plants, Dhara collapsed onto her mat and fell into a restless sleep. As the moonlight filtered through the cracks of her small hut, Dhara had a dream. In her dream, the forest was alive again, lush and green, bathed in golden light. And standing in the center of this forest, under a big banyan tree, was a woman dressed in brilliant red and gold. Her presence radiating a sense of calm and protection. Her eyes were like stars, filled with compassion and power. It was Vimala Devi, the goddess herself. Dhara, the goddess, spoke, her voice soft but commanding. The forest is suffering, but the waters that save your people is beneath this banyan tree. You must go to the sacred place. Only the pure of heart can release the sacred water. Go with faith. You will find what you seek. Dhara awoke with a start. Her heart raced, but her mind was clear. She had been chosen by the goddess herself to save her people. Without any hesitation, she rushed to the elders of the village, telling them about her vision. Though some were skeptical, the elders knew of Dhara's deep devotion to the goddess and could sense that her vision was no ordinary one. In the morning, Dhara led a group of villagers into the forest, towards the heart of the wilderness where the ancient banyan tree stood. The journey was long and exhausting, the air heavy with heat and dust. But Dhara was determined. She believed in the goddess and knew that Vimala would not forsake her. When they finally reached the banyan tree, its roots twisting into the earth like the fingers of a giant, Dhara knelt at its base. She closed her eyes and placed her hands on the dried soil, whispering a prayer to Vimala Devi. As her words filled the air, a miracle unfolded before their eyes. The ground beneath the tree started to tremble, and from between the massive roots, a small spring of crystal clear water bubbled to the surface. The water flowed gently at first, then stronger. Its cool, pure liquid sparkled in the sunlight. The villagers gasped in wonder. The drought had been broken and life was returning to the land. Dhara cupped her hands and drank from the spring, the water cooling her parched throat. The villagers followed her lead, their hearts filled with gratitude. The forest around them, once dry and dying, now began to revive. The leaves turned green again, flowers blossomed, and animals returned to their homes. The goddess had heard their prayers. The people of the village knew it was not just water, but it was Vimala Devi's grace that had saved them. They decided to build a larger shrine at the spot where the sacred water had flowed. And from that day forward, the village thrived under the watchful eyes of the goddess. Years passed, and the legend of the goddess Vimala Devi spread far and wide. When the great temple of Jagannath was built in the nearby town of Puri, the priests knew no offering made to Jagannath would be complete without the blessings of Vimala Devi. A temple was built for her within the Jagannath temple complex, and it is said that even the great Lord himself relied on her for protection.